Alright, so the external ear is just a pinna. That's the part you can pull on, part you get pierced, cartilage. The outer ear canal, that's the part you'd be sticking your Q-tip in. So that's from the outside up until the eardrum is going to be your outer ear canal. You're on your skull, you're talking about your auditory, external auditory meatus, that's what it's going into. For the middle ear, that starts at the tympanic membrane, which is a fancy word for your eardrum. Then you have three little bones. The malleus, incus, and stapes. These are your auditory ossicles. These vibrate to be able to have, like, with the pressure waves out of your eardrum, you have those little bones vibrating. They put pressure waves through your ear. The malleus is the first one that attaches to the tympanic membrane. This little thing comes out. So the one attached to the tympanic membrane is your malleus. The incus is the next one, or the middle one. And most, if not all of these, the stapes has been broken off and lost. The stapes is a little triangle-looking one. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's stuck, it's connected. This one's broken off all together. Sometimes it's actually connected to the other part. I have a little model here. This is actual bone size. So you get the malleus, incus, and stapes. The stapes is the little triangle one. That's how tiny they are.
It's right here.
Yeah, on this one it's broken off, and then on some of them it's actually on the actual cochlea.
Like a little triangle bit.
Yeah, it's a little triangle bone. That's the stapes. So that would be connected to the incus, and the stapes actually hooks up to the oval window, which is on your cochlea. The middle ear chamber, that's just the space full of air. If you ever go scuba diving, or if you're up in a plane and you have that pressure change, you have what's called the Eustachian tube, which goes from your throat to that middle ear chamber. So if you put your hand over your nose and blow slightly, that's what you do when you're diving, when you're going down and having deeper pressure. You do that because it actually forces air up those Eustachian tubes into the middle ear canal to equalize the pressure from the outer ear to the middle ear. So Eustachian tube allows from the throat to the middle ear, so that you can have, that's the only where the air can go. So if you hold your nose and blow slightly, the only where the air can go is up through that Eustachian tube to equalize the pressure between the middle ear and the outer ear. Then you have your inner ear. So the stapes is hooked up to the oval window. All this part here is going to be the middle ear. So the cochlea, or the spiral organ, is going to be the kind of looks like a shell.
A snail?
Yeah, snail shell. That's going to be where your hearing is involved with. The oval window is on that. That's where your stapes was hooked up to. And actually, I'm going to use the bigger version of that. So here's the bigger version. So this is the cochlea here, spiral. The oval window is oval. It's right here. The vestibule is a swelling. So it's opened up here, but this whole swelling here is the vestibule. And that's divided into the euticle and the saccule. The saccule is the one that's closer to the cochlea. So it's the saccule and then the euticle. And those together form the vestibule, which is the swelling area there.
And the saccule is closer to the
Cochlea, yes. So this darker blue one is the saccule, and the one just kind of superior to it is the euticle. Ampulas, each one of these semicircular canals has a bulge at the bottom where it connects down here. That's the ampulla. And then you have three semicircular canals. These would have to do with your equilibrium or your balance. The anterior one is the one that's half exposed here. The posterior one is in the back here. And then you have the lateral one, which is perpendicular to it. That one. Yeah. So it's perpendicular to cochlea. The round window is round, so underneath, it's a little circular one. And then the vestibulocochlear nerve is your cranial nerve 8. That's the yellow nerve coming out the back of the cochlea here. It's vestibulocochlear. The vestibular is coming from the vestibule part. The cochlear is coming from the cochlea. So you get these two parts coming together to have both your balance, which is the vestibular part, and the hearing, which is the cochlear part. So both those branches come off to cranial nerve 8. The cochlear model is what's going on inside the cochlea. So if you separate this, you can see how it goes around and around. There's these three chambers that circle around. That is this. Don't be too excited. It's also diagrammed on the board. So the scala vestibula is the kind of smaller area. So it kind of looks like there's a Y here. The chamber off to the small arm of the Y is the scala vestibuli. And that short arm of the Y is the vestibular membrane. So scala vestibuli, vestibular membrane. The cochlear duct or the scala media is the middle chamber.
What is that?
The scala, the cochlear duct, also called the scala media. The tectoral membrane is this little membrane here that's over the hairs. So in the middle of the cochlear duct is your tectoral membrane. The organ of Corti or spiral organ is this bulk here, which is all your cells. And the hair cells with their little hairs coming off. When the hair cells bend, that's what sends a signal to your brain for hearing. Spiral ganglia, remember ganglia is a grouping of cells. So all these blue cells drawn on here, that's what it's talking about, is spiral ganglia. The basilar membrane is the long branch of the Y. And that's up against the scala tympani, which is this space over here.
Could you?
Scala vestibuli, cochlear duct, scala tympani. You got the vestibular membrane, tectoral membrane, and the basilar membrane. You got the organ of Corti with the hairs and the hair cells, the spiral ganglia.
No, you're not.